Today, during our reading time together, we're going to do something called shared reading. Shared reading just means we're sharing the reading. Sometimes this year when we do shared reading, we'll read the entire thing together. Sometimes during shared reading, we'll break it into parts where I read some of it and you read some of it. That's what we're going to do today. This is called Hooray for Wadney Wat Shared Reading Excerpts. An excerpt is a small piece of a story. So on this page are small pieces out of Hooray for Wadney Wat. Excerpt 1 is all about Rodney, and Excerpt 2 is all about Camilla. I'm going to read the text that is in regular print. You are going to read the text that is in big, bold print. Since you're not right here with me, I asked Malachi, my son, to help us out. He's going to read your part with you. When you're reading at home, I want you to use a nice loud voice and read as smoothly as you can and with expression. Are you ready for Excerpt 1, Rodney? Here we go. I'll start and you jump in on the bold parts with Malachi. Poor Wadney.
Wadney Wat.
His real name was Rodney Rat, but he couldn't pronounce his R's. To make matters worse, he was a rodent.
A rodent.
What's your name, Wadney? Asked the other rodents.
Wadney whispered, Wadney Wat.
What's another name for Bunny? They asked knowingly.
He mumbled, Wabbit.
And how does a train travel? They winked at each other.
Wadney replied miserably, A twain travels on twain tracks.
All of this teasing day in and day out made Wadney the shyest rodent in his elementary school.
His squeak could barely be heard in class.
He gnawed lunch alone, and while the other rodents scurried and scooted about at recess,
Wadney hid inside his jacket.
How are you doing? Are you reading smoothly on the parts that are dark and bold? Malachi is reading along with you, so make sure you're reading at home. Let's move on to Excerpt 2, which is all about Camilla. Then one day, as the rodents were taking turns doing wheelies, a new rodent, a very large rodent, barged into the classroom and announced,
My name is Camilla Capybara. I'm bigger than any of you. I'm meaner than any of you. And I'm smarter than any of you. Then she added, So there.
With that, she accidentally on purpose elbowed an ear, bumped two noses, stepped on three tails, and lay down on a desk. Fur prickled in fear throughout the classroom.
She sure was bigger than any of them. She sure looked meaner than any of them.
How did you do, readers? Did you use good expression and read fluently? I bet you did. Let's all say a big thank you to Malachi for helping us out. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Thank you, Malachi. Turn to the next Nearpod slide to start your reading lesson.